Okay, so in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a material that can simulate water. And as you can see, we've got the water material applied to a plane, and you can see it's resembling water. It's got ripples, it's got refraction. What that means is as the light hits the water, it distorts an image inside it because of the speed of the light going through the water changes. The classic one is putting a pencil in a glass of water. You can see it distorts the pencil. We've also got various reflections on the water, and as I move across the water and look down, we can see that the water's changing. This is quite a complicated material, and it's going to take us a bit of time. And if we look at the two textures that we're using, we're just using a normal map, which represents a normal map of a wave texture. And we're also going to use a cloud bitmap that will give us the variation across the surface of the water as it moves. And we'll have various parameters that we can change to alter the water. Okay, so we're going to start off the tutorial. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new folder. I'm going to call that water tutorial. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new material. I'm going to call it water TUT for tutorial map tutorial. Okay, I'm just going to save that. I'm also going to create a new level, just default one. I'm just going to save that into there, so there'll be somewhere we can save this to. I'm just going to put that in levels. I'm going to call it water. Level. I'll just save it to my level. Okay. And we need something to put this material on while we have a look at it. So I'm just going to use a plane. Just expand that plane. Obviously, you'll be able to put it on to whatever surface you want to put it on. It might be a lake. It might be a pool, a decremental pool on your campus, whatever. So I'm just going to drop that onto the object. I'm just going to build a lighting. So obviously there's nothing on at the moment, and there's our shader. And obviously you're going to need the two. So I've imported the two textures that I need, which come with this tutorial, so you can download those and try them out. Just go back to the water tutorial. I've just opened it up. Now there's a couple of things you need to change inside the main material node. So if we look on the left hand side, first of all we need to make sure it's translucent so you can see through it. We've done this before for the glass texture, and if we scroll down, you get down to translucency. Make sure screen space reflections is ticked, and that would mean it will take reflections from any reflections that are in the scene. And then in the lighting mode, make sure it's surface translucency volume, so it'll act like a translucent surface, but which can also reflect and have speckle and roughness on it. And you can see the shading will compile. You should already have render after DOF on in the. You'll find that in the little drop down that should be automatically selected. And if you scroll down, just make sure that you've got use static lighting ticked. By default, it will be unticked, and you get this represented in here now as a compiler shading. Okay, so the next thing to do, we're just going to add a depth fade modifier. So depth fade. Okay. And all this is really used for is to if the edge of the plane is close to another edge, it will fade off. So because water has a tendency to be more opaque near the edges of the water than it does as it moves out from the edges of surfaces touching. So that's why we're using this. And inside that, just make sure the fade distance is 10, which just represents 10 centimeters. Okay. The next thing to do is we're going to add a clamp to that. And all that means is the value is between 0 and 1. Okay. Because it can't be any larger or smaller than those, so I'll leave that as it is. You might want to just move these options around to get a bit more space on your screen. Okay then, it's alright. I'm just going to create a lerp. What lerp means is linear interpolation. Effectively, it just blends two values between this third value. Just move that with a. And we're just going to create two scalar parameters. These are the ones that you can change, and we're going to change in the instance. So one's called edge opacity. I'll create a new one, another one, and the other one. If you can't change it in there, you can go on the left-hand side, change the parameter's name, and the other one is called default opacity. And for edge opacity, just put in 0.3 in the default value. You can change these inside the instance once you've created these, and then the default one, 0.65. Okay, and then just wire up into the lerp between those two. Okay, you can rearrange them. And then we've got the depth phase and the clamp go into the alpha. Okay. Save as you go. And all the time, the shader will be compiling as you're going along. Okay, we'll do the next next bit in a minute. This is saved.